As February drew to a close, Borough were looking to make it 8 wins in a row and will be doing so in front of a bumper crowd of 522 as the club threw open its doors to all on a day to mark Football vs Homophobia's month of action. AFC Welwyn had beaten Borough in the reverse fixture in August, but a lot had changed for the visitors since then, and their midweek win over Sawbridgeworth was their first in the league since October. Nonetheless, they had the first real opportunity, Dylan Barnes doing well to hold on to an effort from the edge of the area after a quick counter. The Borough chances soon started flowing. First, Adrian Clifton tested New Welwyn goalkeeper Trent Carter-Rogers, and Matt Young, a different player in recent weeks, also fizzed one just wide after a free kick. Carter-Rogers must have wondered what he got himself into as the half wore on, as he was called into action again as he made a point-blank save from a towering George Jassy Sambu header. But it was Jackai Basco-Fisher who probably had the best chance of all when his first touch took him into space in the box. But once again the ball stayed out down to some last-ditch defending, and so deadlock remained as the half-time whistle went. A similar pattern emerged in the second half. Sambu and then Jonathan Hippolyte were brought down in close succession in the box, but the referee was impressed with neither appeal. And then a free kick that was given ended with Hurston forcing yet another save from Carter-Rogers. Borough have occasionally looked somewhat vulnerable on the counter this season, especially with so much attention on the final third, and it was to be their undoing here when, on the hour, Welwyn's Clayton Blake pounced and left Barnes with little option but to take him out. Just a booking for the goalkeeper, but the damage was done as Ollie Lawford sent him the wrong way and the visitors led. The Borough of 23 and 24 might have folded at this point, the desperate disappointment of dominating and then conceding once a regular occurrence, but not this team, and what followed was half an hour of bedlam as Borough set up camp in Welwyn's half seeking at least an equaliser, and then, as the atmosphere grew more urgent, Borough were indeed level. Clifton, who has spent all season flying around opposition halves like someone 15 years his junior, bounded down the left and played a ball right across the face, Rio Griffiths cleverly stepping over, leaving Matt Young to sweep home. Matt's third goal of the week and 12th of the season, celebrated by a relieved crowd. The onslaught continued as Borough hunted for a winner which would have secured their perfect February, but as time ticked down it looked like the moment just wasn't going to come. An extraordinary sequence here as 90 minutes was reached, but the ball somehow stayed out. And then, that chance did present itself in contentious fashion. Borough had been stung by an assistant referee flagging for the goalkeeper releasing outside his area in our visit to Crawley Green in October. The hosts gobbled up the opportunity that day. Surely lightning couldn't strike twice then, as Borough lined up a free kick right on the edge in the dying throes of 5 added minutes. Who else but Clifton, who moved to 18 goals for the season, sparking chaos in the Bell End Crescendo car park as the fans went absolutely wild. Full time followed and a 2-1 win secured that flawless February. Perhaps harsh on a Welwyn side who had gamely battled in a way few had at Coles Park this season, but for all the drubbings and thrashings Borough have handed out, they've also started winning ugly as they head down the stretch. A successful day of celebration to vibrant bouncing Coles Park then, and Borough, for the time being at least, back at the Spartan summit for the first time since August. On to King's Langley on a Tuesday night, significantly warmer and drier than either of the first two attempts on the same date in both January and February. The hosts are well in the playoff hunt themselves, and Borough would need to find a cutting edge that had eluded them on Saturday. As it turned out, it was rather less contentious, and a more comfortable result for Borough ensued. Keir Dixon, who has excelled since he joined us, has been looking for a goal to celebrate for some time. Well, how about this one? A speculative lofted ball into the box beat everyone, including Connor Coulson in the King's Langley goal. No word yet on whether he meant it, but the large travelling cohort were unconcerned with intent. That was all rather harsh on Coulson, who then made a series of saves to keep the score to 1-0, notably this one to deny Hurton Alves. Kings Langley were very much growing into the fixture as the second half started, and it was perhaps against the run of play that Borough made it 2-0. Rio Griffiths had deftly stepped over a cross to set Matt Young up for Saturday's equaliser, and they linked up again as Young, looking better and better every game, found the net once more. Borough settled down with some insurance, but season followers of recent Isthmian seasons past would have seen a half hour left on the clock and been chewing their nails whatever the score, so a third was rather desirable, and the chance produced itself 5 minutes from time as Rio Griffiths was upended in the Kings Langley box and the referee pointed to the spot. Up Griffiths stepped himself and smashed home a penalty that reflects his impact since joining the club, 5-7 now for the former Spurs youth. A ruthless showing from Borough in a cagey encounter, but 3 goals and 3 points took them 4 points clear at the top of the Spartan League after a remarkable stretch of 8 consecutive victories. Sides all around retain games in hand, but for them time is growing short and league games are piling up, so for Borough, points on the board are the order of the day.